Hello and welcome to another episode of Neonz React. Today we'll be reacting to the Cyberpunk anime. It's actually incredible. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the videos. Well, judging by the action and all of these animation stunts, it's amazing.
Seeing the explosion of anime in the past 10 years was bloody exciting if you were an anime fan before. Suddenly, this niche little medium you loved was starting to get noticed by a wider audience, and that was a good thing.
Very good scene indeed, like starting to get popular. But there's also some downside by that.
This must have meant so many more great anime that would have never been made before might just be on the horizon. The small, fan-run companies we followed got an injection of money they needed. Big players were starting to get into the game.
Oh yes,
so much
Netflix.
Cool projects, so much promise of the medium being taken to the next level. It was
Sword Art
hectic,
Online.
it was
Oh
exciting.
no.
The possibilities
Fate,
seemed endless.
okay.
And what did we get?
We've been preparing our whole lives for this day.
One thing we did get was more anime, but that didn't necessarily mean that was more great anime. The shows you wanted to watch were split
There's
across
some
a
just
million different
trash
streaming
and
platforms, and some
also
of the
good
shows you
shit
were
too.
excited for had all their possible hype killed when the wrong platform picked it up. This wasn't on the fine print of the expectations we had, but every so often there comes along a project that makes me remember, alright, maybe anime getting worldwide recognition.
Judging by the animation, the style is kind of sci-fi futuristic. I like that kind of things. Like I read a lot of sci-fi books, sci-fi novel, web novel, and it gets me excited. Damn.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners might be one of the most exciting collaborative projects I've seen in years. Coming from Studio Trigger and CD's Nuts Project Red, this was
CD Projekt Red and Trigger? Okay, that's an interesting lineup.
the type of project we were waiting for. Following their very
Let's hope it's not like the game like Cyberpunk. Let's hope it's not like that, please.
launch of Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah,
CD
it's not
Projekt
successful
Red
at
obviously
all.
saw potential for more stories to take place in the world they had crafted, and in the process might have accidentally made one of the best things to come out all year. Continuing this unexpected but
I mean, I'm pretty sure the anime is better than the game, right? There's no, let's hope.
wonderful trend of animated video game adaptations slapping harder than an Asian parent.
Arcane, yeah, Arcane.
Report card. That's right, guys. I'm a real gamer. Not because I play them, but because I watch the 7 universe. Taking place in the future, in the dark, gritty, violent dystopia nightmare called the United States of America.
The United States of America. Just wow, I'm amazed. I'm amazed.
I mean, Night City. David is a kid just trying to survive in the city, attending a prestigious school, being supported by his mum despite her struggling income.
Oh no, that's not good. What the hell?
David
Okay.
comes to
David Cup. What the hell?
find his mother has passed away because she couldn't afford proper healthcare. Wait a minute, guys, that was a joke. That was a fucking joke. You weren't meant to take that seriously. From there on, he has to resort to a life of crime, meeting Lucy, a skilled cyber hacker, and her fellow gang members. He joins their crew, taking on missions so they can survive together in the underbelly of Night City. Alright, guys, I've got a confession to make. I am not actually a gamer. I lied before. I don't play video games.
You can get away.
Shut up. I haven't played
Genshin
Cyberpunk
Impact.
2077 yet, and my only prior knowledge about
I did not too, and yeah, my only knowledge of it is just the game is very buggy, the AI and the police system like at the beginning. But I'm pretty sure I watched Buddha, some ordinary gamer. He said that it get better. Like CD Projekt, they get their game together now.
it was that
Yes.
the game was a little buggy, so I went
Yeah.
into this completely blind, and while I'm sure I missed some Easter eggs here and there, it did not ruin my enjoyment at all. The world of Night City is stunningly brought to life under Trigger's eyes.
It's like kind of the same vibe of like Psychopaths, but the animation style is kind of way better for sure. But I like it's like have their own charm to it, like Psychopaths, dark and gritty and sci-fi thing, and this is like more. It's also dark, but it's also more colorful too.
Neon lights illuminate the concrete jungle with a
Yeah,
fluorescent
neon
color
lights.
palette. You can smell the stench of stale piss reeking from the back alleys. Every random passerby feels like they have a story to tell. I think people forgot that beyond the glitches and T-posing, CD Projekt Red actually crafted a truly vibrant world.
True, it's kind of immersive, but the bug kill like all of the immersion that people enjoy the game. So
So much potential for interesting stories to take place. Edgerunners might not have Keanu Reeves, but it does have this guy.
I do not pay you to think. I pay you to check the boxes off my list.
What
Wait a
the?
minute. Is that my man Gus from Breaking Bad?
But you can call me Sus.
The first thing anyone will probably notice is Studio Trigger's footprint stamped all over the show. You know, as much as I like Trigger, recently when I saw
Oh,
that
yeah,
name attached to
Trigger.
a project, especially if it was being led by this man, Hiroyuki Imaishi, I was
I don't
starting
know
to
this
think I was
guy.
watching a one-trick pony. I remember the first time I saw Gurren Lagann, I was blown away by the sheer absurd over-the-top hype contained in it. Then I saw Kill la Kill, and I was slightly less blown away by the sheer absurd over-the-top hype contained in it. Then
I never watched Kill la Kill, but
I
okay.
saw Promare, and I was puffed away by the sheer absurd over-the-top hype contained in it. And then I saw they were doing an episode of Star Wars Vision, and I was like, is there going to be some sheer absurd over-the-top hype contained in this? Yep. There
Yep,
it
there
is.
is,
Now,
of course.
did Edgerunners have some sheer absurd over-the-top hype contained in it? Yes, but it was actually kind of muted in comparison to all that other stuff. I mean, this may look ridiculous to you, but this is just
It's
the
not
standard
that much,
driving
though.
experience in India. There are still flashes of that classic
Not just in India, also in Asia, like my country, Cambodia, and also Thailand, and also
balls to the wall Trigger hype, but I feel like they had to restrain themselves a bit more than usual due to this
oh, the martial art. Oh, okay,
being a
clean.
canon story in a pre-existing universe.
Clean.
But because of this, they needed to find more creative ways to up the ante aside from going into space.
Yeah.
Going into space.
Yeah,
Going
it's
into
just
space.
boring
or
now.
my personal favorite, going into space. And I feel like by restricting them, you got to see a
Yes.
whole new side shine through. Oh, for fuck's sake. This, in my opinion, is one of their best looking shows to date. The gunplay on display is absolutely insane. David
And
has
also the
special
martial
ability
art
to go
too,
bullet
wow.
time, creating an army of after images for every movement he makes,
But
which blows my
damn.
mind every time I see it. But most notably, this is the first time I've seen them tackle an old school hyper-violent show, and you could tell they had so much fun breaking all the shackles that usually limit them. Bodies get blown apart, and an
Yes,
explosion
yes,
of bright red
yes,
blood,
it's just
intestines go
amazing
flying
now.
out. Bits of skull
I'm hyped for this. Wow.
and eyeballs rain down with every shotgun blast. Seeing this type of hyper-violence being done with the Trigger flare was a brutally beautiful sight I didn't know I needed until now. Trigger were already the masters of giving their shows a unique visual identity, but I feel like even here, everything was polished and sharpened to a level
It's just a whole to another level, a whole new world.
even further beyond. I remember the first time I booted up Persona 5, I was enamored by just how much work must have been put into its aesthetics. The striking color palettes, the battle animations, the text messages, even
I mean, people have been saying that Persona 5 is an amazing game, but I have never played it, so I can't judge on it that much.
the individual menus, everything down to the smallest details seems to be
But it does look pretty
crafted
good.
to fit this visual style. It was just so fucking cool, and this is the exact same feeling I get when watching Edgerunners. Every frame is oozing with a visual flair most shows could only
Damn.
dream of achieving. There were some scenes with so much going on, it felt like my brain couldn't process all the stimuli it was receiving. This wasn't the rule of cool. This was the
Wow, whoa. Is that the bullet
of
time?
fucking cool. And it was
Jesus.
so refreshing seeing this team's insane creativity being pushed to a level I hadn't seen before. Then we got the soundtrack. You know how in most anime you got your normal background music,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
during the
the
season
normal.
finale or some shit, it'll hit you with a special insert song they've
Yeah,
saved up
I
just
mean-
for this moment, and
Yep,
it's
yep, yep,
beautiful.
yep.
It elevates the moment, and it kind of feels like it turns the scene into a narrative music video. Yep. Cyberpunk has that for like every episode. This OC is just overflowing with such fantastic tracks that at some point I feel like they had too many to work with. There'd be a throwaway scene of just two characters talking and I'd be like,
Only gonks talk down to others.
shut up for a second. Can we turn this music up? The song's kind of a banger. From synthwave to metal to electro to fucking rave.
Synthwave, I like that one.
So many scenes felt like I was watching a stylistic music video. It was like I was watching Fooly Cooly all over again. And then there's the writing.
So you guys are cyberpunks, aren't you?
Oh, they're mobbing! He's going full mob! Out of everything, this was probably the least strongest aspect, but I'm only saying that because everything else was absolutely stellar. Sure,
Absolutely
there was some
god
awkward
tier,
pieces
yeah.
of dialogue here and there.
I'm built different. Bro, I'm a different breed.
I build different. Oh god. I build different. Okay. This is way too modernized.
What, a chinchilla?
But honestly, everything was solid and did what it needed to do. I've seen a few complaints saying that there wasn't enough runtime and it kind of felt rushed, but I didn't get that feeling at all. To me, it didn't feel
Oh wow, there's also some hacking shit. Okay. And also, I like the hologram. Like, I like that hologram sings and amazing.
rushed. It just felt dense. This is 10 episodes, packed to the absolute brim. From start to finish, the series rarely gives you a chance to catch your breath. Shit's constantly going down, situations are always evolving, and while it would have been nice to have an extra episode or two with a bit of downtime here and there, never once did it feel like a major story beat wasn't earned. And yet, even through everything, they still found time to make a standout episode.
Wow.
Episode 6 might be one of the best episodes of anime I've seen in years. From the opening second, something feels off. The air feels heavy. You find yourself being on edge. Everything is draped in an air of unease.
Yeah, this is like no more colorful and no more light and no more. It's just a specific tone and dark and gritty tone.
And you can't put
Wow.
your finger on exactly
Go on.
why. Like you're standing in the eye of an unseen storm. And what follows is a 20-minute psychedelic trip down into insanity that simply left me speechless by the end. It was an absolute masterclass of direction and cinema, and it's episodes like this that reminds me why the medium of animation is so fucking incredible. Even with a shorter episode count, it didn't affect how invested I was in everything. It's been a while since I've seen an ensemble that left such a big impression on me so quickly. Everyone feels memorable without feeling like they're
I like this guy already. Okay, when I'm watching this, I already know I like this guy. The way he move and the way.
just a walking trope. From looks
Jeez,
to personality to
amazing.
attitude, each character is totally
Okay, very unexpected. Let's go
distinct
on.
from one another and have this group chemistry that's infectious. Maine walks in as the charismatic father figure of the group. David's that eager younger brother. Rebecca was one of the more minor characters, and yet we've just
Let's hopefully she's not the annoying type, because usually in anime and manga, the little girl character is typically annoying.
a few scenes, she was able to leave a stronger impression than most characters do with hours of screen time.
Oh, David, my man, what's going on?
It's series like this
Yes.
that shows you don't need hours
Alright,
of
I already
backstory
know
to get
it.
attached
She's
or
not
like a
annoying,
character.
okay, yeah,
Everyone
she's not
felt like they
annoying.
were a part of this dysfunctional family, and there would be a gaping hole without them there. And you get just as emotional when some of the major events happen. Watching this
Wait, the outfit though, like the outfit is dripping. They be dripping.
reminded me of the feeling I got when watching Cowboy Bebop. I didn't need Spike, Faye, or Jet's backstory to get attached to this crew. I already was way
Yeah.
before their respective episodes, because it was just a pleasure to spend time with all of them.
Their chemistry, their work, and their banter is just
You
amazing.
never wanted their journey to end, but you knew it had to eventually. And when it does, you're left with this bittersweet feeling of
Empty
emptiness,
feeling,
knowing
yes.
that you've had to say goodbye to your
Ah.
family again.
You're the guy who jumps into the fire to rescue someone. Anyone.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners is an example of what happens when you give a team gone mad with creativity the resources to do what they want to.
And the execution was also amazing. They have the creative idea and they nail the execution, because some of the anime, like, they have an amazing idea, but the execution is just meh.
do. This is what it's like watching a show where every single person working on a project gives a shit. You can feel the love and excitement emanating from every single second of this runtime, because absolutely no one half-arsed it. Everyone brought their A-game, not a single person phoned it in. It's as much a passion project as it is a promotional piece for a gaming franchise everyone had already written off. This
Yeah.
was the project we were promised when anime started to get more recognition globally. The prospect of some of the most talented names in the niche medium of anime we followed getting to go wild with some of the
Damn, I'm shaky with this.
biggest
Oof.
names and franchises from a totally different medium was meant to give us more shows like this. And I hope that this isn't just the exception, but the standard for future collaborative anime projects to come.
Let's hope it does. Wow, that was amazing. I already got hooked just by watching his video, and that's what I like about Gigguk. He just like have something in his video that just makes you want to watch the thing that he talk about. That's the end of the video. I have to go and watch the anime. If you like this video, you like it. If you don't, dislike it. And don't forget to subscribe. It's been your boy Neonz. Goodbye.